Mariah Mills is in her feels, and so are the 20 ESPN correspondents who have been let go.
ESPN isn't the only one putting people on ice. Find out which HBCU will be the first to launch an ice hockey program.
Plus, highlighting our favorite game day fits, sports best of the week, and much, much more. Welcome to XO Sports.
Hey everybody, welcome to XO Sports. Here on Xperience TV, where we talk everything sports, fashion, and fun. It's your girl Jasmine, and I'm also joined by my girl Maritza and my boy Jeremy. But before we get into it, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And also tap that post notification bell so you will receive an alert every time a new video is released. Now let's get into this sideline spiel.
Must be tea time.
The Sideline Spill is a portion of the show where we bring our latest takes on the news and happenings in the sports world. Now let's get into this rich rundown.
First, on behalf of XO Sports, I want to start off by sending our condolences to the family and loved ones of former NFL quarterback Ryan Mallett. May his legacy be forever remembered and cherished. We also want to send well wishes to Dion, who is recovering from a blood clot removal surgery on his leg. Congratulations to Caitlin Clark for being named Collegiate Women Athlete of the Year. She received her Honda Cup in a ceremony at UCLA. She's not the only one getting a dub. Vanessa Bryant won her $1.5 million lawsuit against Body Armor. What y'all think about that?
I'm happy she won it. So for the people at home that are unfamiliar with what happened, whenever Kobe Bryant was alive, some lady, I can't remember her name right now, some lady claimed that he had promised her a 4% stake in his deal with Body Armor, which he denied while he was alive. And after he died, she wanted to take like legal action about it, but she couldn't provide any evidence that Kobe Bryant actually promised her this deal. Because 4% of that, she would have got. Because it's worth $400 million now. She would have got what, $10 million?
Yeah, a nice pretty penny.
That's a
4%. 4% is nothing. No, that's a lot because they made some money.
Vanessa told that girl she need to get a job.
That's good. Good for her.
Stop playing with that lady. Simone Biles is back on the mat after taking a 2-year hiatus. Saying the inspiration of her return was her NFL husband, Jonathan Owens.
Period.
Yes,
Love that.
Her back.
She back in her bag.
ESPN has released around 20 on-air personalities, including some of our favorites like Jalen Rose, Keyshawn Johnson, and Jeff Van Gundy. How are y'all feeling about these layoffs? Was it anybody you were sad to see go?
I hate it because these layoffs are only happening because Disney's just trying to find a way to save money. They've made at least 7,000 layoffs like around all the the parts of their company already as it is. So cutting 20 analysts and commentators is crazy to me. I'm really sad that Jalen Rose is gone.
Me too. That's one I was like, dang.
Especially this past season, he showed that he's more than just basketball commentary, through the lens of the whole Ja Morant situation. I'm kind of sad Jeff Van Gundy leaving too. He was one of my favorite basketball commentators. So it's sad to see a lot of people go, but I'm ready to see if they, the new blood they get in.
Yeah. I mean, they created these jobs and I kind of just I don't know, especially a lot of the people that they let go were actually really good at their jobs. So it's just kind of dang. And I know they're trying to save money, but y'all are the reason they're getting paid as much as they're getting paid. That was y'all's decision.
Yeah.
But on the bright side though, Doris Burke is now slotted to be the number one, the main commentator during the NBA Finals. So that's really good. Shout out Doris.
That's a good woman. Congrats. ESPN isn't the only one switching things up. Tennessee State will be the first HBCU with an ice hockey program launching in 2024. How do you feel? Will y'all be supporting?
Most definitely. I think that one thing that is nice to see is people not saying it's a white sport. Mm-hmm. I think that was one of the biggest connotations that was over hockey, and to see that a HBCU is picking it up, I hope that most of them fall in line as well, because hockey, That's where the action at. Hockey's where the action and the money at, and I don't think a lot of people understand that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I really don't watch hockey. I'm not gonna lie, but I know that it's so like rigorous and like just there's a lot of action in it.
Y'all, they be throwing them blows.
I know. If there's black people, like more black people playing it, then I for sure would watch. But my thing is, I feel like it's gonna lead to more white people coming to HBCU.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. So, cause like when you think about it, a lot of people from our community, black community, don't play hockey just because when we grow up, we're playing like basketball, football, maybe baseball, stuff that doesn't require so much money you have to put into it. Cause hockey gear is expensive. So,
but I mean, if you think about it too, you look at a school like LSU when you see how they're thriving and how their athletic department. Jeremy, what's so funny? Because I could pick ananother school.
I'm just saying we're the best sports school. But go ahead.
You should never mention LSU.
I should have never said that.
Yeah, you should have never said that.
Anyways, I'm gonna use my example because I already said it. So when you think about a school like LSU, when you see how their department is thriving, even though another race is coming to the school, it's always bringing a positive light. So I wouldn't think about it as them foreshadowing us because they're coming to HBCUs, because once they get in our shoes, they can see well, not really technically our shoes, but once they see the light and how the impact that our university has, it could bring a positive output on everything.
I'm a little indifferent on this. I'll be honest with y'all. It's great. It's great. Like you said, of course, that's funny. But it's great for like the 3 black men in America that play hockey, I guess. Because we got to think.
That statistic is terrible.
It is.
It is. I mean, I'm being hyperbolic, obviously, but it's like you got to think hockey, that's a cold weather sport. Most black people in the United States stay in the South. So a lot of black people really didn't grow up playing hockey. And plus, there's only, 62 Division I hockey programs in the country? Mm-hmm. So all the best hockey players, now they're going to look at Tennessee State, and also the best hockey players are going to be white, with the exception of PK Subban. He's actually really good. Yeah.
But wouldn't you think that it would be better to start getting that exposure? Because like how Marissa said, basketball and football is something that's only exposed in our neighborhood. If you start exposing kids to hockey and other sports, they could thrive. I mean, look at Serena and Venus. It wasn't a black dominated sport when they started playing tennis. Once they got in tennis, that changed the whole narrative for black and brown girls. So it's like if you expose them at a young age, maybe it could be, some elite players that are the skin tone of that everyone is wanting to know about.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it from the positive side, because if you think about it, since it's a white dominated sport already, that means that a black person don't even have to be as good as the best white person, and they still could go D1 in that sport. Think about it. That's why there's black people that play lacrosse and field hockey, and they can get a scholarship pretty easily, because there's not that many people.
Right, that's true. But you also have to think, like, back to the original point I made. Like, there's, like, honestly, like, where I'm from, Shreveport, we don't really, like, we had a very small level ice hockey team, but that wasn't enough to inspire anybody to go play hockey. Like, I'll be honest. I never had the desire to ever want to try hockey. Now, I've tried almost every sport.
Well, I would never, because I can't even ice skate, so...
Right. No, that's another thing. A lot of we don't know how to ice skate for real because there was never an opportunity to ice skate.
But that's the sense of handicapping. That's the sense of handicapping.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, I only feel like it's handicapping if that's like it would be readily available and people just choose not to do it. It's not available at all, so we're not gonna do it.
We'll see how it plays out.
Period. Thank you for the rundown with Ritz. Now, Jeremy, what's been going on with the NBA this offseason?
We got a lot to talk about.
Oh, Lord.
So first we're gonna talk about Bradley Beal. I don't understand why the Wizards sat on their hands for so long with Bradley Beal, because these past 2 seasons, he only averaged 20 points a game, but the 2 seasons before that, he averaged 30 points a game. Now, I always wondered, why would you wait so long to trade him? And it's like, they got a good return from it, I will be honest. In return, the Wizards got Chris Paul, Landry Shamet. Mm-hmm. They got the number 7 overall pick via the Pacers, because it was a 3-team trade. Mm-hmm. Via the Pacers, they drafted Bilal Koulibaly. He played on the same team as Victor Wembanyama in France. And on top of that, The Wizards got the 2024. We got a 2024 first round pick swap, a 2024 second round pick, a 2025 second round pick, a 2026 first round pick swap. Oh, and just for viewers that might not know what a pick swap is, basically the way it would work is if when two teams are involved in a trade, let's say one team ends up having a good record and the other team ends up having a bad record, and the team that had the bad record enters in a trade in which they would get a pick swap. The team with the bad record would then have the option of saying, I want to either keep this pick and take their pick next year if it's better, or I can take this year if it's better than mine, and I keep my pick next year, if that makes sense.
Okay, wait. So they're already picking for 2026 and 2025?
No, so the way it
And
will
give
work
them
is,
the pick that they're gonna have, like what round?
right, like they're basically they went ahead and traded a pick that said team would have had in the future to the team now, but the pick is still going to be made in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And also, I saw a lot of people talking about the amount of second round draft picks that they received in this trade. But second round picks are really a cheat code in the NBA because you don't have to. Number one, they only get their contracts only last for 2 years. A lot of NBA teams, whenever they do acquire these second round draft picks, they spend it on a lot of the times foreign players who may have a lot of work that needs to be done, kind of in a way to like stash them off for the future. Like the MLB does something similar. Yeah, right. Like the MLB baseball, they do something very similar where they'll draft a player who's probably 16, 17 years old, but he'll play for their farm system, like their farm team, but he won't play for the big team. So
like G League.
I'm sorry?
Like G League? Like
yeah,
for basketball
like they'll play for the developmental team in hopes that one day they'll be able to actually make it to the big league. It's like I don't know why the Suns would do that, because now the Phoenix Suns won't have a draft pick until 2031.
Yeah, they better hope that this trio with Katie and Bill and Devin Booker really does do something, because if not, they are gonna. Katie and Bradley Bill been in the NBA for many years at this point. And at some point they're gonna get old. I want to say Bradley Bill's already pushing to like he hit his peak already.
Yeah.
So, if they don't make something work with that, then it's gonna be hard. It's gonna take them a minute to like rebuild and like have something shake again. I don't sleep on D Book and Katie, but
right. And just to make y'all feel old, for context, the Wizards won't be able to pick somebody with their own pick. Well, the player that they picked with their own pick in 2031 is almost 10 years younger than us right now.
Oh my gosh.
Just to make you feel old for the day.
Jeremy, get off the call. Get off the call.
Like, okay, I'm not trying to think about 2031.
2031. You already said 2031. I'm like, 2031 is not. It's only 2023. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the Wizards' next draft pick, right? He's drinking chocolate milk and eating square pizza right now. Just for context, like that's crazy. That's how bad the Suns situation is gonna be. But
fingers crossed for them.
Yeah.
A lot of people thinking that they're gonna make it to the finals this year. We're gonna see.
And somehow the Wizards managed to expand on this trade.
The Wizards made smart decisions.
Yeah, the Wizards are doing really well this offseason. But Chris Paul was then traded to the Warriors for Jordan Poole, Ryan Hollins, a 2030 top 4 protected pick, which basically means as long as that pick isn't in the top 4, the Wizards will get the pick. That's basically. Now, if it does end up being in the top 4, then the Warriors will get the pick. In a 3-team trade involving the Celtics, the Grizzlies, and the Wizards didn't stop. They said, we got to get this done now. The Celtics received Kristaps Porzingis, the number 25 overall pick in this year's draft, which they traded, and a 2024 first-round pick that's top 4 protected next year. The Grizzlies got Marcus Smart. I feel like the Grizzlies kind of won this trade because they desperately needed some veteran leadership in that locker room. They lost Dylan Brooks, and they improved.
Was that a loss?
Listen, wait. We have to be honest. Dylan Brooks did make a defensive team this year. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know who voted, but he did do it, and I respect people's accolades.
Man,
Marcus Smart was an improvement over Dylan Brooks. He provides defense and shooting And whenever John Morant's not on the floor, he'll be able to run the offense.
Yeah.
And the Wizards, as a third team in this 3-team trade, received Tyus Jones, who averaged 13.2 points, 7.1 assists, and 3.4 rebounds without John Morant last year. Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and a second-round pick. So shout out the Wizards. Their front office did really, really well this year.
They need a raise.
Definitely. Now, we got to get into the draft. So first I'm going to talk about the first 5 overall picks in this draft. Of course, everybody knows Victor Wembanyama, the 19-year-old, 7'5" Frenchman, got drafted to San Antonio. And even though I feel like Victor Wembanyama is overrated, I don't feel like he's going to pan out to what everybody says or thinks he's going to.
They overhyping every single thing he's doing. Like, he can do the most normal thing that any other basketball player would be doing, and they're like, oh my God, like,
it's just his height.
Right.
Yeah.
He does have the most upside, meaning that he has the potential to be better than everybody in this draft class. I think the person that got drafted directly after him, matter of fact, Brandon Miller was the best player in this draft class from Alabama. You know, he's a 3-level scorer, and that's what Charlotte desperately needed. Whenever LaMelo Ball got hurt, outside of Terry Rozier, nobody on that team could create their own shot, and it was painful to watch at times. Now LaMelo Ball's back after getting his 5-year, potentially up to $260 million contract. Shout out LaMelo. He now has a new running mate. And being that they're both young, LaMelo is going into his 4th season. This is Brandon Miller's rookie season. LaMelo could be looking at his long-term running mate. So the future's looking a little more bright in Charlotte than it normally is. Then at number 3, the Portland Trail Blazers drafted Scoot Henderson. I expected them to trade out of this pick because they already tried the undersized backcourt with CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard. Mm-hmm. It didn't work well. I mean, they still had their successes. Yes, Dame and CJ individually did well, but the Blazers as a whole could never
not enough to take them to get
it. Was never enough. It was, and I really enjoyed the Pelicans sweeping them that year. Oh my God, I love that.
You would, of course. I knew you were going to.
I'm biased. Like I said,
it's
I'm
fine.
biased.
Look, anything to go against Dame.
Yeah. So, but now being that Damian Lillard has requested a trade out of Portland, this pick makes 100%. It makes perfect sense.
Now it works. Yeah.
Now it works. Now, I may be reaching right now, but y'all know I don't care about reaching. I feel like Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons have the potential to be very reminiscent of a young Russell Westbrook and James Harden back in the early Oklahoma City Thunder days. I feel like they had that potential. Anthony Simons made significant strides last year. At times when Damian Lillard was hurt, Anthony Simons was all the Trailblazers had.
That's true.
And now you got
it didn't do what it needed to do, but
it didn't do what it needed to do. But now it's obvious Portland is in a rebuild. Also, Portland just re-signed Jeremy Grant to a crazy contract. I don't think he deserved it, but I understand. You're not really going to get that many free agents going to Portland, so I understand. Now, after that, we have the first of the Thompson twins. Amen Thompson got drafted to Jazz's Houston Rockets. Y'all got a good player, Jazz. I'll be real with you.
I know. I think the Rockets ended up after draft night. The Rockets actually ended up pretty well because they got another pick that should have been top 10. But
yeah, Cam Whitmore, he slid. I think he ended up sliding, if I'm not mistaken, because he had some type of injury that was like that people didn't really realize.
They said it was because of injuries. The workouts that he had in his interviews. I don't really know why interviews really would drop someone like. Okay, we're playing basketball, but whatever. I feel like that helped them a lot because they didn't expect that. They didn't expect to get like basically you got 2 top 10 picks. Think about that. When you think about it. So yeah.
Amen Thompson coming out of Overtime Elite. He's bringing a lot to the table. Obviously, he can't shoot the best right now, but he's young. He has time. He comes in with a competitive edge that cannot be taught. He wants to guard the other team's best player every possession. He's going to be mad at you for not letting him do it. That's the type of player y'all need in Houston, Jazz. Knowing all the stuff y'all got going on, Jalen Green doing whatever he doing.
Okay, that is your issue. You be mixing business with personal.
Listen. We got to keep going, though. We're going to get into that.
No, you can't say something like that and I expect Jazz to have a rebuttal, please.
Like, be for real, Jeremy. Just hurry up and spill your tea.
Yeah, Houston is definitely rebuilding and they making some smart moves. Does that mean y'all are going to make it to the finals?
Yes.
No.
Hell no.
Be for real.
Y'all, clap it up for Houston, y'all. Clap it up.
His twin brother, Asar, was drafted to Detroit. The only problem I have with him being drafted to Detroit is Cade Cunningham's going to come back healthy, and he's going to be the clear-cut point guard on that team. I don't think you can start Asar Thompson day one next to Cade Cunningham. But that's not a knock on him necessarily. It's just not yet. Like, he just needs a couple time. And like I said, Asar and Amin, they both have that work ethic to where they always want to get better. They live, breathe, and sweat basketball. So I feel like Detroit and Houston got some good picks.
They 100% will like be beasts like as they continue to work because I know they're not gonna get lazy. They're just gonna keep going harder. So yeah.
You know, outside of the top five, there were some other picks that I really liked. You know, I got to be biased and talk about my Pelicans. He got arguably the best shooter in the draft, Jordan Hawkins. He's just now coming off of a championship run with UConn, and everybody knows that's Angel Reese's cousin. Winning is literally in his DNA, and that's what the Pelicans need. We have a lot of people on the team that don't know enough about winning.
That's true. That's a great pick for you guys. Still won't make it to the finals, but great pick.
I can't wait to see our team play, y'all, because I got some money and I'm ready to talk.
Jazz, please put some money up. You're going to lose all your money, Jazz.
Me and Jazz are going to Houston Rockets game.
Definitely.
Please.
Jeremy, be for real with yourself. And you think that your Pelicans are going to surpass the Rockets?
Surpass? Y'all ain't been nothing since James Harden left.
Y'all see my two delusional co-hosts?
Whatever she say, hey.
Right. I'm going to go off regardless every time.
Y'all going to be right with me, right where my Clippers at. Name your top 5 teams that you think are going to have some bump, like give some bump this season for most of the conference.
That's the thing about the NBA. There's really not that much turnover from year to year. I mean, the Nuggets are still going to be – they're still going to be the Nuggets. I feel like the Lakers are going to be way better than what they were this season.
All right, so then what teams do you think that will surprise you? Like that terrible last year.
That'll surprise me? I'll be honest. Lately, I've been becoming a really big Tyrese Halliburton fan, and I really like the team that Indiana has built around him. So I'll say the Pacers. I feel like the Pacers might make the playoffs this year.
I'm not mad at that.
But we get into the free agency now because there's a lot of stuff going on in free agency. Right now, even though I can't stand the team I'm about to talk about, the Lakers are easily having the best free agency this year. Easily. They locked up Austin Reeves on a 4-year, $56 million contract. The Lakers actually have a quality role player now. Like a few years ago, whenever they had Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, you could see that they were going to end up being stars. So maybe they couldn't really accept their role on the team that well. But Austin Reeves, he knows that I'm not going to be a superstar. Let me just play my role. And that's exactly what he did, averaging just under 17 points a game in the playoffs this season. The Lakers had to re-sign him, and they did. They also re-signed D'Angelo Russell on a 2-year, $37 million contract. Now, while D'Angelo Russell did come up short a lot of times during the playoffs, he's a very solid backup facilitator. They also re-signed Rui Hachimura. I was not expecting him to do as good, but he really fits into that team well as a backup small forward, power forward. He could play some starter minutes here or there. They also signed Gabe Vincent from the Miami Heat to a 3-year, $33 million contract. Now, Gabe Vincent never should have been starting in the finals, but whenever he did start, he did what he could do. He did what he could. But his real value is going to come being on that bench. They're going to need shooting off the bench. You know LeBron loves his shooters. This one hit close to home. They signed Cam Reddish to a 2-year minimum deal. And I just feel like he hasn't really gotten the right opportunity and been in the right system and right situation where he can succeed. But I feel like this is perfect. The only thing he's expected to do is catch the ball when LeBron passes it to him or catch the ball and shoot it whenever D'Angelo Russell passes it to him. Also, the Lakers signed Taurean Prince to a 1-year, $4.5 million contract. Another great bench piece. They signed Jackson Hayes, who originally played for the Pelicans. He's a freak athlete. Freak athlete. The only problem is it's hard to tell if he actually cares about playing basketball because he hasn't made any improvements to his game whatsoever.
Yeah, that seems to be almost all the players that come from your team.
Okay. Here we go. The Clippers fan. That's enough on the Lakers. That's enough on the Lakers because my mouth's starting to get dry. I don't even want to talk about them. We got Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, and Tyrese Halliburton, 3 young and up-and-coming players, have all signed 5-year deals worth up to $260 million. Now, for those who aren't familiar with Tyrese Halliburton's game, in his 3rd season, he's just the 15th person in NBA history to average 20 and 10 in a season. Think about all the great point guards that have came through the NBA. He's one of 15 to average 20 and 10. That's amazing. I feel like this year, like, he's gonna really start getting some attention. Also, Desmond Bain signed a deal for $207 million, which is the largest contract ever signed in the history of the Grizzlies, which is crazy to think because he's on a team with Ja Morant.
That is crazy. But Ja Morant ain't playing for like half the
Right.
season.
I'm now talking about the Rockets. They signed Fred VanVleet to a 3-year, $130 million deal with the team option in the 3rd year. I don't really understand that much because VanVleet's undersized, he can't defend, and he's never shot over 43% from the field in his career at all. It's never happened. And they also signed Dylan Brooks to a 4-year, $80 million deal. Considering the fact that his nickname is Dylan Brooks, there's really not
the Rockets?
to say about him. Yeah,
Just the Rockets.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of money for VanVleet. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
That's news to me. Hold on, they signed Dylan.
Yeah, they signed Dylan Brooks to a 4-year, $80 million deal.
I'm too stunned to speak. Golly! Y'all know we had that whole debacle about that Dylan Brooks. So
He hates him.
Yeah.
To myself, but I'm gonna stick
He hates
beside
him.
him. I'm gonna stick beside him.
Just like, ugh, that's like he like that cousin that you just can't stand.
And you like, get away from me. I'm trying to make a plate of food and leave. Like,
Now it's time to get into some of our favorite game day fashions. If you want your best game day fit to be featured on the show, just submit them or tag us at exosports.xtv. And before we get into it, remember, X for yes and O for no.
ooh,
Yes, I love it.
that's cute.
I'm loving it. The
I
girl
like the shades with the heels. It definitely gives it, girl. It's
I like the shirt, the pants, I like everything. The hair just looks good.
Facts. She looking like she knows she that. I'm not rocking with it. I'm gonna give it a O. I don't know if it's a suit or a jumpsuit.
It's just the shoes are throwing me off with
Yeah, like I don't know if it's supposed to be like a suit attire or like the 2-piece jumpsuit kind of thing.
I'm giving it an O.
Like them pants just remind me too much of my childhood because every time I had to wear some long pants, my mom would put a long ass crease in them. Like I was gonna go meet the Pope or something. Like I don't know. It's a O. It's a O.
Ooh!
Text black dress. She eats every time.
You're being stupid. Oh my
Ooh, that's an X. I ain't even gotta say nothing. Keep it rolling.
god. It's an X for me.
Nobody chopping up.
I love those.
Bro, you start screaming.
I mean flip-flop heels. Is that D-Book?
Yeah, that's
No.
deep.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
bad.
It's not like a hard fit or nothing, but it's not.
Yeah. It's like mid, very mid.
It's mid. It's like, all right, let's go to the bar. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Chill.
It's a decent fit.
I'll give it an X. I'll give it an X.
I'm gonna give it a mid. We gotta create that.
It's like a
mid.
What's this?
It's a
What's
mid.
this?
One line or one diagonal.
Yeah.
No, literally.
Yeah, well, same thing Jazz said. That.
Half a X.
Mid.
He always.
Ooh, that's hard. I ain't gonna lie. I like that. He look like Travis Scott a little bit.
Y'all remember the suit he wore to the draft?
I don't think I do.
He's grown so much from that. I'm gonna need y'all to look up the suit he wore. Well, his wasn't terrible, but I just feel like his style now is like.
He got a stylist probably, cause that one little orange cross is cute. It gives the outfit like a.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I like
It's
it.
giving.
It's
He's getting X for me.
Little pop of colors.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I like the shirt, but I'm not. It just doesn't match with
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry, babe.
Okay, I didn't mean to say it so rudely, but
I'm so sorry.
my smile left my face so fast. Now the shirt, it eats it up. Like the
Yes.
shirt with the bag, and maybe the hat. But when she added the shoes and
shorts and the
pants,
shoes don't go with it.
it's like it's a lot going on.
She
I'm
like
sorry. It's gonna be a hole for me.
Sorry, babe.
I'm sorry. I was trying to be nice, but you look a mess.
Officially in overtime. This is the portion of the show where we go a bit off script and address any and everything on our minds, read comments, answer questions, talk conspiracies, you name it.
All right, y'all. The tea has been piping hot all week. So, to help us get through these stories, I thought it would be fun to play a game I like to call Tell Me How Far. I'm going to give y'all some scenarios of the latest stories in the sports news. And when I say tell me how far, you tell me not far, far, or too far, depending on how you feel about the question asked. And XO fam, you do the same in the comments. Are y'all ready?
Yes, let's get it.
So, tell me how far. Larsa Pippen has been awarded half of Scottie Pippen's retirement in their divorce settlement. After 24 years of marriage, is Larsa rightfully entitled to that money, or did the courts exceed her wifey's share? What y'all think?
Too far.
Far.
Too far?
Too far. You didn't let me explain.
What did she do in that marriage? I need to know.
Hey, I mean, she raised the kids. Like, I don't know. It's just, she's weird. She's a weirdo. That's why I'm saying she's going too far, because you're married. Well, not married, but you're messing around with this man's teammate's son.
Literally.
This is somebody she probably once referred to as Lil Marcus. That's crazy. Like, that's weird.
That's supposed to be like her little nephew type.
Yeah, like she's off. Like, I don't know. And then you still trying to get money off of Scottie. Scottie is a good man. Leave that man alone. He already looked like he's stressing bad enough as it is. Like,
no,
just leave
for
him
real.
alone. Get a job.
I don't feel bad for Scottie because you should have went black.
Oh, Lord.
Said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
Okay. So, Mariah Mills is at it again. Child. She recently posted a TikTok in which she appears to be getting Zion Williamson's name tattooed on her face, and followed it up in the last couple of days with an image of a positive pregnancy test. Now, Mariah is justified in her recent action, or is she just doing too much? How far?
Left. So far, extremely far. She took it way too far.
I'm not a big fan of her. Like,
Needs Jesus.
Expeditiously.
Yeah, and it's so obvious that she's just doing it to keep her name buzzing.
Yes.
I didn't know who this woman was before this. I'm sorry, I don't know this woman.
Kiki Palmer. That's what I'd say.
I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Because at first it was him cheating on her, or the DMs, and him acting like a child, to now the tattoo on her face. Jeremy don't got nothing to say.
Nah, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, she just weird.
I'm tired of seeing her on my timeline.
Whenever grown women act weird, it just makes me feel some type of way. Because why are you getting this man's... Well, no, why are you faking like you got this man's name tatted on your face? That's crazy.
No, for real.
That's crazy, number one. Number two, you can get... Like, unless I can see your face in the pregnancy test, I'm going to just assume that's not for me. I'll be honest.
No, for real.
Whoa.
I need the picture like this.
She wildin'. Yeah.
So, Twitter went into an uproar after Mikal Bridges tweeted Aja Wilson asking her when was their next game, and she responded, "Please leave me alone. We cool over here." Did I just say what needed to be said, or could it have been a little bit nicer?
I'm gonna stick beside her.
I'm not. That's goofy. Like, that's the woman of my
You don't know. He might have been bothering her for a minute, and she was like, "Oh my god, you're getting on my nerves." Like,
you never know what went on in the DMs. That is true.
Man,
just like you, just like Jeremy, you know, if you could, you would.
If I could, I would. What?
Be in them DMs.
Oh, I can be in them DMs now if I wanted to. I just choose not
in the
to.
request.
Oh, okay.
I gotta wait until this is like a 10-year plan. I gotta wait until I'm where I'm at in life.
A 10-year plan. Oh my
Jeremy, okay, you know what? I'm gonna support my Delulu. Real Delulu yelling out, "That's my woman."
Real Delulu yelling out my
That's
name.
Jeremy. That's Jeremy.
But on a serious note, though, I don't understand why whenever we get into these conversations about the WNBA, the first people we always look at to help them are people in the NBA. But people in the WNBA always give them a stiff arm. Like, how can I help you if you don't want to be helped?
Okay, but you know what he could have did was just come to the game. Just come to a game. Just come post that you're at a game. Come bring your teammates to the game. You don't have to post about it.
You know what that next game was? He wanted to ask her.
Why he gotta ask her? He can buy a ticket to the game.
But why he has to ask her on social media, like for the attention, knowing that people are going to categorize them and already group them together and be like, "Oh, he's shooting his shot." Like
that's why
he said we good over here.
I don't know.
The way that he made it seem was like he trying to apply that pressure. So if he wanted to be a good NBA person, then all he had to do was send a DM like, "Hey, when's the game?" Man, Google is free. Be for real. I can't side with you,
Jeremy. You better look it up on Ticketmaster.
Literally.
So that's why he got publicly
embarrassed. That's what he get, in a sense. But we're gonna move on. So the Titans running back Hassan Hawkins was accused of strangling his girlfriend after she liked another man's Instagram post. How far y'all think that is?
It's alleged, but if it's true,
it is alleged.
Yeah. So it's alleged, but also I don't think it's far. Only because his girlfriend is also in jail for for aggravated assault and strangulation. She also choked him. So I don't think that was the message.
Get back.
That sounds like a fair fight. I'll be honest with you.
They sound like they need to end the relationship.
Yeah, that just sounds like a fair fight to me.
Fact.
Yeah, they toxic. That's what I'm getting. It's toxic.
That's not cute.
The relationship in itself is too far.
But we're just gonna move along. So, can't wait to prove y'all wrong. A message to the haters from Bronny James while standing on the USC's gym floor. Are y'all really hating on Bronny, or is he just trying to get some buzz?
That's not far at all. A lot of people do that when they commit to schools. That's normal. They just hate
on like people talking trash about him because it's just like he's LeBron James' son. So of course he gotta expect that heat. Because now he's at that level where it's like if you trash, they gonna sit you down like Shaq's son. And it's just like that.
You have to do Shaq's son like that. You have to do it like that.
Okay, I'm sorry. If you're watching this, you know it's all love.
As far as a high school player goes, I think that Ronnie might be getting the most love, like amongst fans, of course, out of any player ever seen. Because listen, since we all grew up watching his dad play, Ronnie really like our little cousin. Like we watched him grow up too. So I want nothing but the best from him. I will never hate him. Also, he's 17 years old. I don't see why we care about what he's posting.
Exactly. As long as he ain't posting like John Morant, it's okay.
Yeah, like
every time y'all say his name, I just get a little unhinged because it's just like we're not gonna get into it. But speaking of that whole NBA debacle, old footage has been leaked of high school Jalen Green humping one of his teammates.
You need to leave.
Now, was this done in youthful brotherly love, or was this a big questionable and raised some red flags?
Why they let my mans go?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. The bringing up the video X amount of years later is so unnecessary.
Crazy.
You know they do it though.
Video wild. Yes, that is wild. If I saw my brother doing that, I would literally like lose my mind. Like that's kind of cool. But y'all just let this man be. It's old. It's old. Just let it die. Just let it die.
Listen. Now, I have once been a male in high school. Now, while I didn't do the stuff like that, for some reason, high school boys like acting a little for the sake of being politically correct. I'll say they like acting a little sus, right? You know, doing all types of stuff, you know, slapping you on the behind whenever you walk in, saying that you're cute, telling other people that you're their boyfriend. Like, that's stuff that happens in high school. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if everybody else's high school experience, like, they seen stuff like that. Stuff like that happens very often, so it doesn't surprise me. It's just crazy that there's not only one video circulating, but two.
That's the second one.
So did you do the same thing, Jeremy?
No, I definitely didn't. I was the one telling people stop.
Right, that's what I'm giving it side eye right now.
I was about to do I strike you as somebody that would have been like that?
No,
Wait. Why you hesitated? What you gotta say? Get it off your chest. We gonna talk about that. We
don't judge, okay?
Yeah, we don't judge.
It was just June.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It wasn't. I'll be real with you. I wasn't. No,
okay.
Let me stop. Stop.
So Jalen isn't the only one out here violating, Jeremy. Maybe.
No, I'm not included in that. I'm not.
So Jeremy and Jalen aren't the only ones out here.
Take 3. Get my name out of there. Get my name out of there. The wife might be watching. I'm gonna protect my
Okay. All right. Let's stop being childish. Jalen isn't the only one out here violating. The NFL has been suspending players back-to-back for their participation in betting on NFL games. Now, did these players take it a bit too far with trying to make some extra cash, or is the league doing a little bit too much by letting them go? What y'all think?
The players knew they shouldn't have been doing that. Leave that to us.
Facts. Well, why are they betting anyway? Like, what are they going to get out of it?
So then you gonna be mad at the next man that you got to play on the field? No.
Betting is very fun. I'll be honest. Like the rush you get.
Go to the casino and gamble.
Somebody be right there to what you got to what you need them to do. Oh my God, it's the best feeling in the world. But I feel like it's a little too far because there's not really a clear explanation as to where you're allowed to bet and in what circumstances you're allowed to bet in. Like, for example, they say that you're not allowed to bet on any team facilities, but you're also not allowed to bet on a plane. You're not allowed to sign up for a sports book during the season, which leads me to ask, so if I can't sign up for a sports book during the season, am I allowed to bet during the summer? Like, how does this work? I don't know. I just wish they had more clear guidelines as far as how you can bet and what you can and cannot bet on. That's why I feel like it's a little too far. But instead of spending all that extra money they got on betting, you know what they can spend it on?
What?
These new Civilette candles, which have sweet aromas that transform your space into a sanctuary. Each candle is handmade with eco-friendly and healthy materials so that when these wicks are burning, pure love is truly in the air. And on top of that, it's also black owned. So go and get you one of them candles. I know your room's feeling a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like just lighten the mood a little bit.
That is a wrap for this week's episode. If you haven't already, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at exosports.xtv. And we'll see you next week here on Xperience TV. XO, we out.
We out.
What, you want a Barbie? What about a